Hey, good morning, Misfits. It is, am I too hot, the sound wise?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, good. And then, am I too hot? No. Good morning, Misfits. It is July 12th, 2020, episode 506. Is it 506? And yes, I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for your patience while I was on vacation and y'all kept showing up and we're having fun and we're just doing a whole bunch of fun things. We got in last night about 2:30 this morning after the boys were jet skiing all day on the lake. And yeah, it was just a good day. When you ask them, what was the favorite part of the week? And they're 16-year-old boys and they go, this was. The lake house was fun and the tubing over there was fun and but when they can get out on their own and they can go have fun, they can be within supervision, right? Because these are Yamahas, older Yamahas that don't have the forward and reverse switches. They got the handle in the middle. So they rooster tail like crazy. So you can pretty much track them anywhere if they're on in the visible side of the lake because you go, yep, there's the rooster tails where they at. So the question then becomes, what hurts? Some of you may not have been jet skiing yesterday, but some of you may be feeling some pain, some challenge in learning new words, learning, using new muscles. It's literally the same pain. It's a buildup of acid. It's a buildup of emotion. It's a buildup of memory, right? Because I ain't on the jet skis just now, but to raise my arms like that reminds me that when you're hanging on doing 60 miles an hour over wakes, you're going to get a little sore. So I'd ask you to look at your body right now and ask yourself what hurts. Where does the hurt reside? Where do you feel it? Is it in your neck? Is it in your shoulders? Is it in your heart? Is it in your gut area? Does your lower back hurt? Do your feet hurt? I ask you all of that because if you've not been jet skiing or doing some physical activity, that hurt is just a memory of an old story. When people go through detox, when they go through just even a 3-day cleanse or a 72-hour cleanse, the idea is that some of the old memories in the body show up. Sometimes when people go on a detox, maybe you've experienced this, some people go on a detox and they get earaches, right? When they were growing up, they had earaches or they get headaches and like, ugh, or somebody takes some wellness products and we call it a health crisis. Well, as I sit here with you in the conversations that we have here daily, I would call it a success crisis. What are you experiencing right now? What hurts on you? Some of you, it might be the numbers in your back office hurts. Some of you, it might be the financials hurt. Some of you, it might be relationships hurt. Some of you, it might be your leadership hurts because you want to do more. You're working out at it. I congratulate you on it. The challenge is that when it hurts, it hurts. We wind up not wanting to go do it. Right? If I was training to be in the jet ski triathlons Olympics, I'd be back out on the water today. And then once you get in it and once you start doing it, it's all of a sudden you start to have the muscles loosen up again and you start to become comfortable with it. And then you're sore when you sit. See, that's the challenge. I wasn't sore when I was on it, was I? I got sore when I started to sit. This is what happens in our business. We start to sit. And sitting in our business could be, well, I talked to one person instead of four. I went into management mode instead of message mode. It's a whole variety of things. So this is more or less just to have a conversation with you to say, where do you feel it? When you see the joy, when you have the fun, when things are going amazingly well, where do you feel that? right? I can tell you the videos that I'll be watching that Michelle was taking of the boys when they were out there and jumping and having fun and just having a blast. Those will bring back great memories. See, we have one more summer with them, right? 11th grade to 12th grade. Then 12th grade, he might be off with his friends, right? So this was the second to last summer. So you do it big. It's 365 days away. I get that. But this is one of two. So I love my bride the way she will find an open second and just absolutely cram something in it. Well, let's stop off and see the 24-hour biggest ball of yarn. Now, we didn't do that, but could you imagine? Right? But it's just those kinds of things, getting every last drop out of it. So I'll ask you, where does it hurt? And what part of it hurts? Is it your mind? Because you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what to say. I don't know where to go. Blah, 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 blah. We have a 5-minute conversation. All of that goes away. And it's not me knowing any of the answers. You know the answers to the next step. You know the answers to get to the next stage. Just the next stage, not 600 stages from now. The next stage. So as we move into our phases, right? In what's coming up Wednesday for the Secret Sauce Academy is we're going to start building your tripwire. We're going to start building your CTA. So you're actually going to start telling people, get on my list. And you're going to start building your list. And some of you are going to break out in a sweat. And some of you are going to be like, I got 4 people on my list. What do I say to them? Hello. Thank you for being on my list. Yeah, but Nate, what do I say to them? I got to do 17 things and cook a cake and build them a house and drive them to school? No, they're on your list. So let's go to some hands raised. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Amanda.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Love you all. Miss you all. Yesterday I didn't make it. Unfortunately, I didn't know what time you actually did it on the weekends, but I'm so happy to be here.
Yay.
Like I always am. And I just have a couple questions and I have a couple things to say. So I'm just going to start with the things to say first, and then I'll jump into the questions. Number one, I wanted to say thank you. I always start with saying thank you, but every time that I say thank you, it truly comes from a different place. I might get emotional, but that's fine. I have come to so many realizations recently in my life, and I am so thankful. I am so grateful to have this platform, to have this family, to share with you all. It's beyond words and feelings. So, Sean, you talk about what hurts. I feel I have become more aware of my body and how I feel at certain times. And when I'm happy, when I'm excited, I feel it in my heart. When I feel nervous and anxious, I feel it in my throat and in my stomach. Right now I'm feeling it everywhere because I'm nervous, I'm happy, but I'm also anxious. And I hear it in my voice too. But I have been able to really focus on myself, and I feel that it has taken a toll on other aspects in my life, specifically my personal relationships. with my personal relationship with my sister, it has actually grown stronger. She has been someone who I can rely on and talk to with all this, because she herself is the one who turned me on to personal development with one of Neno's calls. From there, I found out about your calls, and it's just been a kind of like an avalanche effect of incredible, amazing things. And the biggest thing has been that I have actually allowed myself to let go, and allowed myself to accept things for the way they are. Within the past 2 days, I've had a roller coaster of emotions where I am high, like literally high. I saw a documentary on Walter Mercado. I don't know if anybody else has, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. He said something that he has sex with life. And that just caught on to me because of everything that has been going on and everything that I've been experiencing. And I'm like, wow, I want to have sex with life. I want to feel, I mean, I hope no one gets offended by this, but because I'm being so honest, he says, I have an orgasm with things. I have an orgasm with nature. I can look at something and feel so excited, okay, to the point that it's like, you don't need anything else. You need your life, you need joy, you need happiness, right? And it's like, wow, how can I get there? And then in my mind, I didn't say, how can I get there? Because of everything you've taught. It's like, how have I created the ability to deserve this feeling? So I've changed my way of asking things and going through things, and it's been so incredible to see myself change and grow, and just the way I think. Now here's the question. Sorry, that was a long intro, but my questions is with the people in my life who I'm making a huge change, and I see it and I feel it, and I feel that like there's things that aren't caught up to where I'm at, right? For example, I've been with my girlfriend for 7 years, okay? And it's a long time. We are living together, and she is seeing this change in me, and I've taken a priority on myself to do the things in the morning. Like I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. She wakes up at 9 o'clock in the morning. So by the time I'm done with all my things, she's like just waking up. So I'm like sweating from walking. I've done my meditations. I've done my gratitude, my affirmations. So like I'm doing a lot of things. I even make her breakfast, and breakfast in bed, but I'm trying to make a change for myself. And I do your calls, I do Neno's calls. So like my morning is pretty packed. And then I listen to personal development calls. I listen to Jim Rohn. I listen to Neno's podcast. I listen to other positive things. So it's like I have become obsessed with it to a point where it's like a drug, that I love the feeling of feeling joy, but I feel that it's taking a toll on other areas in my life, like my relationship. I feel that my girlfriend feels like I'm not making time for her, like I am ignoring her, or I'm not present with her. And like in my mind, it's very hard to explain to her. It's like, I'm doing this so that I can be present with you in all this, but I see that she's more upset and more, she's been very cold, very held back, and I'm like, man, like what do I do? What do I say? Is it my job? And then like I kind of find myself seeing her negative talk, right? Her negative talk, the way she acts, the way she thinks, the way she speaks, and I've tried to redirect her in a way in some things, and like why is it that you're saying that? Why don't you think this? Why don't you think about it like that? So at what point do we look at things in our lives and feel that we have to either let go or give it a chance? I'm really stuck in that place. I'm debating with myself, and that's the issue I'm having now.
So have you asked her what brings her joy?
She says, don't ask me such stupid questions.
Right. So say, well, let me ask it a different way. What makes you smile?
She every time I try to ask like something positive or something, what do you see in your future? What do you see? Hey, what kind of car do you want, She says, "Oh, a hooked up Jeep." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Cool. How come?" "Oh, I don't know. I just do." "Okay. Well, and then she like automatically switches to "Oh, you know what? I don't even know. I don't even know. There's so many cars. How can you ask me that question? It's so stupid." And then I look at her and like it's
So
just
here's the big challenge, Amanda, is that when she says that's so stupid, what's stupid?
she doesn't like me asking difficult questions. I can
No.
relate.
Yeah, but what's stupid? Are you stupid?
Um, I I don't know if it's like she's not comfortable because she doesn't know.
She
I can relate.
doesn't.
I,
She
yeah,
doesn't.
Sean, I can relate in the sense that like a month ago I was not in this place. If somebody would have asked me, "Hey, Amanda, what do you want to do in 5 years? What do you want to do with your life?" I'm like, I don't know, but I wouldn't like shut it down necessarily. Maybe I would think about it, but I'm in a
So,
different
Amanda,
place.
do you think there's a chance she's jealous?
I do. I've lost actually like um I at the start of all this I weighed 124 pounds, and right now I weigh 116 in 3 weeks, and not in a bad way, in a really really healthy way, exercising, eating
Right.
better, and she doesn't make the same choices, right? I've tried to, in not in a pushy way, because she gets very like you can't tell her, "Hey, why don't you have this instead of that?" And no, and this and that. So I've stopped trying to, like, I'm not being pushy anymore. I'm hoping that, at one point she decides to see the changes that I've made and how happy it makes me feel.
Have you written her a thank you note?
No,
Have
no.
you brought her a flower?
Yeah, I can't even go out because of COVID, but I ordered flowers on Instacart through Publix.
Okay. Did you? I'd write her a note every day
Okay.
because her frustration isn't frustration,
Yeah.
it's fear.
Yeah. I could see that. I just don't know how to approach it anymore. Every time I try to get through every
How do you approach a scared dog?
well, you let it smell you first.
I'd start there. But in order for it to smell you've got to give it confidence and comfort enough that it's okay to take that step. So how do you approach a scared dog?
Um, I'm trying to think of how I could relate that. Like, you crouch down and you get to their level, and you actually
Right.
don't make eye
So you
contact.
listen, you've lost some weight, you're on this personal development journey, you're not on her level anymore.
Yeah. And that's what scares me, because I don't want to, hurt her. Like, my question is, like, am I at a point that I have to let go? Um are we in different places? Do we want different things in life,
When you
or do
as you continue to succeed,
yeah.
do you want to continue to shine the light towards her?
I want her to grow with me. I want her
You
to
can't work. Listen, I love you. I love you.
yeah.
But you can't make her grow. I'd say this about your team. You can't make your team grow. You can't make them want. It's called want to. Scott Schilling calls it want to. So how do you? Her biggest thing is fear that you're going to be gone. So the easiest way to have the tallest building the tallest building in town is either to build yours bigger or tear everybody else's down. And she doesn't know how to build hers bigger right now.
Yeah.
What's something she likes to do? Otherwise, listen, if you can't tell me something she likes to do, you've got an interesting past 7 years.
I mean, we really like to go to country concerts. That's kind of where we met. We like to spend time with our family, but that's like really difficult now.
Okay, so
Um,
so country music. So is can you play that? Does that music play in the house?
Yeah, it does sometimes. Like,
Okay. Sometimes or all the time?
sometimes. I mean, she
Okay.
really likes to watch TV.
Okay. So what's a favorite show?
Right now, she's watching Hoarders.
Okay.
And
Well, there's a little Freudian slip there. So can you just curl up on the couch?
yeah, she really likes to watch the news, and that's something that brings me a lot of negativity. So
Well, so that
I,
one you may want to come up with something more fun to do. But how
yeah,
many times did you say thank you to her yesterday?
um, I
This
probably didn't. I didn't say the words thank you at all. I
okay.
didn't say thank
So
you.
so she doesn't listen. This is just you and me. This is a relationship. The challenge with this relationship is that it's much deeper than most business relationships. So therefore, the same thing we use to build rapport and to develop and continue with relationships in real life becomes highly sensitive in an emotional relationship. So I would say thank you to her. When you send out your 3 messages in the morning, is she one of them?
No.
Change that. You're the one that's having all of the awakening. You're the one that's having all of the stuff. And do you remember, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have a lot.
Okay. So when you were mad and your brothers or sisters came over and they wanted whatever it was that you got in trouble for was really, really funny, and they just started laughing, but you didn't want to laugh. You wanted to laugh, but you got madder because you wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening here. You're being great. She wants to be great. And she's probably a little competitive, and so therefore you're getting greater faster, and she doesn't want you to get greater faster. So rather than her get started, she wants to try to slow you down. I would just say thank you a lot more.
You got it. It's
I would
done.
just say I appreciate it a lot more. And I would be in the state, kind of like you were talking about earlier, the state that you're in, the mindset that you're in, the experience that you're in. How much joy can you be in? How much can you literally see a picture of her and fall in love again? This idea of having sex with the universe, it's not the strangest thing I've ever heard. To sit and look at a leaf, to sit and look at the leaves when they change colors, to listen, we've got a little itty bitty worm farm in the garage. To watch the worms run around inside the dirt, it's like that's the coolest thing. And to see there's 7 hearts or however many hearts they have. I'm like, how many? What do you need 7 hearts for? We got 1. Well, maybe because they just need to love a little bit more. Maybe worms are like the secret lovers of the world. They're both male and female. So who knows? There's just so much going on there. So I'd start with 2 things. I'd start with saying thank you to her a lot more, and I'd start with saying thank you to you a lot more.
Got it. Thank you.
What's one thing you learned, one thing you liked?
One thing I learned is I need to express myself in gratitude, and instead of asking her what may be difficult questions for her, I just need to show her and tell her that I appreciate her and include her in my gratitude messages, so that she may realize that I do love her and that I'm not leaving her behind.
Yep. And the other thing is that you can always use what goes over very well is the apology approach. And the apology approach is to say, hey, Amanda, listen, I got to apologize. I don't know that I've been a jerk, but I haven't been the best friend. And I kind of got a talking to this morning, because I thought I was keeping you in the loop, but I've kept you out of the loop, and I apologize. None of that's not true. None of that's untrue. That's all true to the degrees with which it is. But you'll be amazed at, because if I say, hey, listen, Amanda, I'm sorry about that. And you're like, no, don't worry about it. It literally changes the chemical makeup in the brain. And you're not doing it to manipulate. You really are. We're sorry that that the joy that you've had together isn't quite there in this moment. And you went on to the call this morning and you realized that maybe you had left out a couple of things in your relationship, and you apologize for that. And just see where it goes, knowing full well that there's only two ways she can go, misery or joy. And she can go, well, yeah, see, I told you blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, so that's a clue. Stay on your path. Your path is going to bring joy to the world and those around you. And as you become aware of those around you who want to see you succeed, you go from there. So tough questions. I appreciate you bringing them here. Thank you for letting me participate.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome,
Love
my
you, man.
love. Love you too. Jessica, let's go to Jessica.
Hello.
Hello, Jessica.
Oh, where do I begin? I don't know. Yesterday was a strange day, and I've been having lots of awakenings, and they're kind of, I don't know, they're really weird. Like, you said that I would pick up a leaf and I would cry. It happened, and I was like, what? It was really weird. And then yesterday I was watching telly, which I really didn't want to do, but I gave it a shot. And
I don't want to bang my head against the wall, but let me see if I can find a soft spot.
Literally, I was like, okay, I'll do it just to make the others happy. So I said, okay, I'll give it half an hour, and then I'm going upstairs, guys. And then there's this dog, and I think it got attacked by another dog. And I was literally in tears, like I was crying my eyes out. And my parents were like, what's wrong with you? Like, calm down. And I was like, yeah, but this is awful. Like, this is horrendous. And I don't know, I'm an empath, so every time I see something that's not right or I feel something, everyone just has a go at me. I'm like, I can't help it. That's me. That's how I feel. And then something made me laugh, so I was laughing again. So they were like, oh, she's all right now. But I just feel like I can connect with Amanda, because I feel like the frontier is so scary, because I know I can't take anyone with me. And I keep telling myself that every day. I'm like, every day, I cannot take anybody there. I have to take myself there. And
well, don't set yourself up for negative. Don't say I can't take anyone there. You take us there every time you tell a story. So you can take anyone there who's willing to listen. Don't set yourself up for failure saying, I can't take them, I have to take me. So now you're in a constant choice of misery or less misery.
okay.
These are the words. This is how we set ourselves up. If you go into joy, if you go into the territory and it's misery for you, is it misery for anyone else?
Say the last bit again. If it's misery for
if you go into the frontier,
yeah,
and you wind up, it gets a little messy. Could it be messy for others? Yes.
Yeah.
So you've taken them into the frontier. You can't not take people into the frontier. They may not experience it, but they will see what the frontier is like, which is why most people put their head down and go, I'll stay over here in town.
Mm.
They want you in the frontier. To use a line from A Few Good Men, they need you in the frontier.
Yeah, I get that.
So when they pull you back into the territory, when they pull you back into the plains and ask you to watch crazy TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's them taking you out of the territory. It's
And
them
that makes me want to cry because those are the people I love, and I
you
have
can
to
still love them, but you're trying to make their misery your misery so that you're in the same boat. You can still love them. They're in a different boat. I know this because at the age of 14, when I said I'll never have another bad day, my mom was a fairly negative person. And I chose to I asked permission. Is it okay if I remove myself from this? Is it okay if I leave? And I would find things to do. This is where Bob Proctor talks about, when he talks about the science of getting rich, the little green book, right? And his mentor, the guy that him and the other three guys that were sitting around the table, they were dreamscaping. They were building castles in their mind. And I became very good at building castles in my mind.
See, this is the thing, because it's like when I decided that I wanted to go to the Maldives for 1 week, the first thing my dad said was, people don't go on holiday on their own. That's how they get killed, and you'll end up floating in the sea along with your suitcase. And I was like, no.
Well, and did you go, oh, I love you, Dad?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but what part of you didn't do that? What part of you had an argument?
The old part of me.
Right. Imagine if a neighbor said that to you. Imagine if somebody on the street said that to you. Would it have had the same zing?
No, I would have said, the world is huge. You can go anywhere you want.
Right. See how you stopped crying when you said that to a stranger?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough with family. You're not leaving them. They're not leaving you. You're just putting on a different pair of glasses, kind of like now you see them all in their underwear.
It's so strange. It's like, I think maybe because I've been doing lives and things, I'm very aware of people that are just watching me, and I'm fine with that. I'm like, that's fine.
So hang on just a second. I love you. Hang on. How long have you been doing lives?
Not long.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
But here's the thing. Here's the point, my dear. Yes, you've been doing lives for a week consistently. Consistently, right? That's a huge word. Consistently. This is what hurts. You being seen. What's the thing listen, how many of you can type in the chat, when I talk with CEOs or people who engage with me to mentor them and to teach them, the first thing I ask them is, are you ready for the what?
Love.
This is what we're getting beat up about. We find ways to go watch the telly and get rid of love. We go find ways to say things to our dad, and he tells us we're going to be floating dead in the sea. I mean, come on. That's like out of a comedy. That'd be like out of a sitcom, right? Who says that?
If there was a sitcom of me and my family, believe me, we would make so much money because
exactly. So that's my point. So who said? Listen, do you know why your dad said that?
Because I tell you why he said that. He said that because because he comes from a third world country, and he's done more than his family could ever imagine him to do, and I'm so proud of him. And then it only got to a certain level, and that's all he's seen. He hasn't seen any more than that.
Right. So he's done more than his family.
Oh yeah.
And does his family kind of take shots at him?
Oh yeah, they can't stand him.
So wait a second. So why is this news? Why is this news? You're doing more than your family, and they're taking shots at you. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the pattern here. this happened to your dad and your dad's doing this to you. There's no connection.
No, not at all. I'm
Your
joking.
dad can only do what your dad knows how to do, and your dad's been under the shotgun and the fire and the truck and the steamroller for all of his life. What's he going to do to his daughter?
Okay,
Just know
bonus time.
know that's his way of absolutely loving you the best way he can. Sid Kamish as it is, Benny Hill as it is.
Okay, bonus time. You got me there.
I mean, when you just told me, so attention, Kmart shoppers. If you just paid attention to the last special, sometimes things that happen in our
Clean up
family.
on all four.
Clean up now. Sometimes things that happen in our family get passed on. What do you think? Type a P in the chat if you think you see a pattern there.
Just don't watch Sully and you'll be fine.
That was a blue light special, a blue and red light special, a green light and unicorn special. Well, my dad does better than any of his family, and they pick on him. Oh, shocking.
Okay, I'll tell you a secret. My mum's watching Sadhguru, so something's happening there.
Yes.
That
yes.
project is working well, guys.
Yes.
I'd just like to thank everybody.
Excellent. Oh no, yes, Sadhguru is it. And listen, if she ever gets gutsy enough to take the inner engineering, that would be that's a very much of a poof special. Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm working on Mum. Mum's getting there. So
Okay, work on you. So how do you think? Listen, how do you think this is working on? How do you think Mom's getting into that? It's because of you.
oh yeah.
Without you saying anything. It's about the energy that you have in your cells, and energy is all connected and it's vibrating back into her. I bet you if you asked her, why are you watching Sadhguru? She'd be like, I have no idea.
Yeah, she would. And I'll tell you another secret, right? So you remember when I told you my traumatic story, which I couldn't stand? And then you remember when you said you should buy yourself a present? So I wanted to buy a bike because everyone has a bike now, right? And everyone's cycling everywhere. So I went to buy a bike, but there was no more because everyone's bought all the bikes and I'll have to get one online. Anyway, I bought a basket, right? So I have a basket and a bell for my bike, which I haven't bought yet. Don't laugh. But then my mum buys an exercise bike. And I was like, why did she buy an exercise bike? So random. But
You should go put the bell in the basket on the exercise bike.
Okay, I will.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring,
Okay,
ring, ring.
All right, I'll watch ET and then I'll do that. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
So, do you see how you changed the story?
Yeah.
Do you see how the story was always there?
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Hello, Jessica.
Hello.
Sassafrassa rigger frickin' Shauna big chicken frigger cigarette frigger come on. Where's it hurt? I'll tell you where it hurt, you son of a cigarette frigger frigger digger. Oh, so what happened with your dad? That's not well, yeah, but we all know that. Blah. Okay, go put a bell in a basket on a exercise bike and you're dying laughing.
Well, I've got this pain in my neck and my ribs, but I know it's the old story, so I'm like,
yeah. Well, the ribs is your breathing, right? And breathing is speaking and talking, and that's you standing out in front of everybody, right? Notes with Jessica. And your neck is carrying the old story of inside of your head. You're afraid to turn. You're afraid to move look in a different direction. Look in a different direction.
Which way, right or left?
Exactly. Either way you look, you'll find out, and you'll be able to, once you look, you can then see, okay, we've got some movement. I can say whether it's right or not now.
It's the left.
Yep. So just keep having fun, keep moving, keep becoming aware.
Okay. It's just scary.
Until. Why is it scary?
I just think the frontier is like I just have this sense of the new story, and I'm like, I feel like I'm waiting. The only way I can describe it is I'm waiting at the window, like, where is it? I'm here, I'm ready. And it's just, and then
So how do you
someday,
no longer wait at the window?
that's the question, Sean.
Where's a better place to wait?
Maybe I need to meditate about it.
What's that? Oh, you don't need to
Maybe.
meditate about it. That's
Are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing with you because you'll
No,
be
you're
laughing in a
not.
moment.
You're laughing at me.
I'm laughing with you because you're going to be laughing in a moment.
All the people from the UK laughing too, so I think they can tell too.
So if you wanted to, if you were waiting on your best friend, would you wait in the window or would you wait outside?
Outside.
So get your ass outside.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too. I get on this morning call, and so here's the joke. How do you say F you in daily awakening language? I love you. I love you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
Okay,
not
good.
saying that.
See, I told you you'd be laughing with me.
I found a book that says Murphy's Law, all the ways in which it goes wrong, and I laugh so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny.
Yes, it's hysterical when you have the name because it does follow you consistently.
Have you seen it?
Oh my gosh, Murphy's Law? Yes, that's like my second word was mommy and then Murphy's Law.
No, thank you honestly so much, because I wanted to tell you this yesterday, but anyway, I'm on this course called Instagram Secrets to Success, and there's this woman, she's a model and she lives in New York, and this is to help everybody here listening. What we have to do is we've made a group, and then you have to comment on people's pictures with 6 words. So you have to say something genuine in the comments. And I've been doing that with this community of people. And then they've been watching me go live. And then she messaged me, she said, oh, I'm doing a live called On the Road with Susan. And because she's been watching me, now she's going live. And I'm realizing that people are appreciating and spreading the light and love, and they don't even know what I'm doing. So I just want to thank everyone here for your support, and Sean, how much you've changed me. And
well, listen,
so thankful.
don't give me any of the credit because you did all the work.
No, I'll give you all the credit.
No, because listen, if I take the credit for your win, guess what else I got to take the credit for?
What?
Your failure. And that's the difference between a coach and a mentor. A coach will take the credit for your win, and then when you screw up, as we all do, they'll go, yeah, but see, I had nothing to do with that. Well, BS on that. So I want you to take all the credit. I'm just like, again, I'm a source. You're resourcing it. I'm just a source for some information, and I'm using it as a resource, all of that I got. So make sure you give yourself, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. You can thank me for showing up. I'll take that, because that's the part I do. I hit the go button. You're the one doing all the work, my love. You're the one that came and asked the question. You're the one that said that was shedding the tears. You're the one that's doing all of the work and the awakening. And every time you wake up, here's the thing. This will put a funny visual in all your heads. Every time you wake up in a new place, I'm always there.
I know. Oh no. I know, because I saw a post today that said choose one, and it said cats, dogs, chocolate, Netflix, books, or something else, and it said only choose 3, and it was the longest list, and I was like, it's Sean, he's talking to me again. So then I had to pick everything that was either good or healthy. I couldn't pick anything else.
Yep.
Yeah. Right, thank you so much.
You're welcome, my dear. I love you. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Bakumi. Y'all put your seatbelts on. What? I didn't say nothing. What? I didn't say nothing yet. I haven't said nothing. I'm still unmuted. I unmuted you, so now we can hear you. I'm not going to let that laugh go away.
Why you gotta be, but hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Hello Sean.
Hello, Bakumi.
Okay, so two things. First of all, I had an awakening myself this week.
Yay.
It was weird. Okay, so I didn't sleep. My sleeping pattern this week has been off. Like I've gone, I think it was like 30 hours without any sleep. Like I just didn't sleep. I don't know what happened, but I need to sort that out. But that's a different, that's another talk. But okay, so this awakening was, so I was on TikTok. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm admitting this. But I was on TikTok and there was this audio that was playing and it was like, I don't know, okay. Woo! It was like, I can't remember the rest of it. I think it was like, don't take life so serious because no one makes it out alive. And I was like, I just kept repeating that in my head, like, no one makes it out alive, no one makes it out alive, no one makes it out alive. And like, funny enough, that brought me comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I had to like dive deeper into it because I was thinking, why has that just brought me comfort? Why is the fact that knowing that we will all die just made me feel so good? Like that, and I was a little bit freaked out because I was like, nah, that's a bit weird, I'm not even gonna lie. But then I was like, I don't know, it was just the fact that like I like the fact that we're gonna die, but I just like the fact that this is like temporary. Like I believe that we are spirit and then we live in a body. So obviously we'll go back to being a spirit. But
You want to hear the other thing that downloaded to me?
Yeah, I want to hear, please, because I feel like I'm just
The thing when you hear we're not getting out alive. You ever hear the expression, the gloves came off?
I've heard it now from you.
Okay, so it means that when you get into an argument with, like, say, a coworker or whatever, or this, that, or the other, and they went like one step too far of that they shouldn't have revealed something, or they kind of threw you under the bus, and you say the gloves just came off, means you're going to go fight barefisted. You just now decided that the gloves came off. When you realize, when that sank in, that none of us get out alive, there's no reason to hold back anymore. You had this freedom to say, if we're all gonna, nobody gets out alive, screw this, I'm gonna have fun now. And so there's this release that says Bakumi can become Bakumi. Bakumi squared. So you have this level of freedom now that you can get into action. Because your calm is like freaks everybody out. And your calm is like 10 times more than most people's super action.
And I feel like when I had that realization, I don't know whether it was morning or night. Like all of my days are like together. So I have no idea whether that was morning or night. But I do remember going to the park and there was like no one there. So I literally was just spinning around. Like I was just having the best time of my life in the park. Like, and I just was like, it just kept playing. Like no one makes it out alive. Like it just felt so good. And then it's like every time I have like this realization that I can freely live, I live my life like now, not just waiting not just waiting for like this to make me happy, or like this moment right now, like this moment I'm here on this call is the moment I can be happy. I'm not waiting for anything else to be happy, you know. But
You're
it
no
feels like
longer-
every time I have that realization, it's like, nah, we don't want that. Like the old Bikumi is like, nah, let's bring her back. Let's bring her back in, like, because that's a bit too much. So literally straight after that, I think someone. So I have this like, I don't know where this came from, but I have like this.
By the way,
massive-
we're going to start the clock that every time you say like, you owe me $1.
Ah, Sean, it's I can't. That's actually so rude.
Like it'll be like,
oh
okay,
my God.
like, okay.
Okay. So I'm
Because I
Very
want
good.
you, here's why I'm doing this. I really want you to focus on this.
okay.
And when you focus about not saying that word, your words change.
Okay. Okay. So every time that happens, there's the old Bikumi or the old story comes back harder. So this time, it's there's like this. Oh, the hate and love I have for you, Sean, is so strong.
Bikumi, just imagine Sean is Gemma Collins and you won't say like again.
Oh my God. I love GC. I love her. Okay, so I have this anxiety of when people call me and I don't know what it is. And I've been trying to get rid of it. So
When they call
bad.
you, how? Just say your name or reach out to
No.
you or?
No, I can't. Oh no, I don't want to say I can't. I struggle to talk on the phone, and I don't know what it is because I can talk face to face, I can talk like to strangers, but when it comes to being, like people are like literally looking at me like, what is wrong with this girl? But I like when it comes to the phone, like I don't know what it is. Like my body just
$2.
shuts down. Like I literally want to vomit. Like I just
$3.
I hate it so much. I don't know what it is. Like so, like when
$4.
like,
$5.
oh my God! So when Jess called me, I remember the first time Jess called me. I had only spoken to her through Instagram, and then she called me, and I literally like wanted to throw up. Like I was like, sorry, no.
So Bikumi, let me take some pressure off. Don't ever have a phone call.
But that's literally the whole business is to have phone calls.
Yes, but do it on Zoom. Just do it like you and me are doing right now. Just have a Zoom call.
But that's just it's if I could I would, but it's not like
Bikumi, there's
even
absolutely.
when my mum calls me, I struggle and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
So FaceTime her.
But not everyone has data like that all the time.
Well, then you can't talk to anybody without that data. Why put yourself in stress?
But I want to figure it out. Like I don't want to have this anxiety. Like it's so
Okay,
ridiculous.
wait a minute. So I'm gonna let help me out with this, Bikumi. Every time I walk into that wall over there, I just hurts me. So how do I walk into the wall and not get hurt?
I just
Avoid the
not
damn
walk
wall.
into the wall.
Get rid of the
I
wall.
avoided the
Either get
wall.
rid of the wall
Yeah.
or don't walk into the wall. So here's the question. What part of you, so can you talk on Instagram? Can you talk in text?
I struggle with text as well. Like
So you need to hear somebody's voice.
but I can hear that on the phone. That's why it's weird.
Follow me. But so you need to hear somebody's voice, but you need to see them because that's a part of you that can tell the rest of the story. So when you look at us, when there's somebody talking on this call, where do you look when you're watching? When Amanda and I were talking?
I was looking at Amanda.
Yeah, but what part of her were you looking at? Were you looking at her eyes? Were you looking at her mouth? Were you looking at her chin? Were you looking at her hair? What part?
It changes. I don't know. Sometimes I'll look at just her hair,
Okay.
and then sometimes I look at her eyes, and then I just look at her overall facial expressions.
Okay. So when Jessica was talking, where were you looking?
I struggled because she didn't have a video.
Right. So is it okay? So if you were an addict, let's say you were a recovering alcoholic,
It's very believable.
would you tell everybody, hey, listen, bring lots of liquor so I can be tested every time I have a conversation with you? No, you'd want to avoid that. So you're going to avoid not having a conversation with somebody where you can't see them.
Mm.
And you tell somebody if they want to talk to you, you better be near Wi-Fi. So you don't have to use your data, knucklehead. Because there's a way to get there's a way to get through that.
Mm.
But with technology today, it's really not that hard to have a conversation with somebody visually. And they may not have that data on their mobile. Well, great. Wait till they get home then.
Mm.
It's not, listen, I will say this. It's not fair for you to have a conversation with people you're trying to inspire and motivate, and you feel like you're already got your hands and legs tied.
Mm.
So this is going to be a little bit about you taking care of. What food do you not like? What's a dish you don't like?
It's not really a dish, but I think chocolate is so overrated.
I totally agree with you. I don't like chocolate. I totally agree.
Well,
Oh no.
So
Don't be
sorry,
shaming. Don't be shaming chocolate now. Oh no.
so, and that's for those of you that don't know, this is Latoya. This is her first time on the call.
Yeah, first time. Hey, Latoya.
I saw
Oh, yeah,
Boots
it's my
right in
first
the thing.
time.
How'd you
Sorry.
find the call? So
My phone to improve.
So, Bakumi, imagine if every time you had to talk to people, you had to eat a pound of chocolate before you spoke to them. That's exactly
my worst nightmare.
That's the state you're putting yourself in when you talk to somebody on the phone without a visual. Now, could you be like crazy and actually have a picture of them? Right? Could you have in your library, in your photo library, my cheap ass friends who don't have good data plans?
The struggles, first world problems.
Right? So just begin. It's to have fun with it.
Mm.
And folks, listen, could you imagine if you sponsored Bakumi and she's in your business and you say, listen, all we do is talk to people. She's like, oh, I could do that over the phone. Right? So you've got to find your own workaround.
Mm. Yeah, I do. I think I'm actually going to try that picture thing.
Yeah, I would. And if you printed them out, you could be drawing little smiley faces on it or a mustache.
I never even thought about that. Oh, yeah.
So tell me why your energy just shifted.
Because I realized that there's a solution. There's because I feel like often I can just look at I didn't say you heard something else. Often we can see just the problem and not the solution. So knowing that there's a solution, it means that I can come across my triangle bridge.
There you go. Yeah, that triangle bridge. I got to tell you, that's a one of a kind. Does that feel better?
It does.
Cool.
I've struggled with it for a while. That makes so much sense.
And so now the fun thing is you could say, hey, listen, if we're going to have a conversation, do me a favor, take a snapshot of yourself on the phone right now and text it to me. I want to see what you're wearing. Oh, that'll get you some.
I knew you were good. I literally knew it.
That'll get you a lot of guys.
Ah! Oh my god.
Just have some fun with it. You're good. You're an amazing soul. Here's the thing, Bukumi. You know why it sucks to be you? Because everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to be in your energy. Look at all the heads nodding. People just want your laugh or your ah as their ringtone.
I think that's maybe what struggled with me with texts.
Yes, I missed you. Look at there's Bukumi. She can't talk on the phone. There's Bukumi. Bukumi wants your picture so she can talk to you.
I do actually. He's so cute.
Yes, I love you. I've missed you too. Yes. I missed you. Stop. You good? Okay. Does that help, Bukumi?
It does.
Okay, cool.
Should I try the same thing with text as well? Or no?
You could. Now, here's the thing. Here's what you'll do. Part of memory, right? Part of learning memory and teaching memory is to teach people how to remember, how to visualize. So think of somebody you're going to talk to on the phone. Who's somebody you talk to on the phone?
I should say their name.
Yeah.
Oh, Jess or Anne.
Okay. So you're going to talk to Jess on the phone. What's the picture you have of her in your head? I'd be on the phone right now if that's what was the picture. So you got the picture?
Yeah.
Can you talk to that picture?
Hi.
See, this is what happens now. Now when you go to call her, that picture is going to pop up and you're just going to start laughing.
Oh my god. I hate how you can simplify everything, but I love it at the same time. It's just so beautiful.
So now picture Anne. And don't do that face because that's the picture she's going to have that like, the hell took you so long?
I'm like, huh?
Now I just see her on a loop going like this. Oh my god.
Now you can have a conversation on the phone, can't you?
I can.
Picture me.
I just see you with your hat like this. That's all I ever see you as. Oh my god.
So now you can have a conversation. Now, dare I ask Jessica and Anne to picture you?
Oh my god.
She's better than Elmo.
Oh
Oh my god.
no! What the heck? This is my first time on the call. What's going on here? People laughing and doing all kind of faces. I don't know. I'll be back tomorrow though.
Okay, good. You see, Bukumi, how we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change.
Change. literally
Now,
gonna get that
now
tattooed on my
now
back.
your pressure's back. Now your preciousness is back, and the pressure's gone. Because when we talked about the picture before, your energy had a huge shift. You're like, oh, I can come up with this. I don't know. And I didn't know why I didn't think of this. And it took till now for us to go get the picture of Jess or the picture of Anne, and you just now picture anybody you're talking to them. And here's what will happen. Here's what will happen. It'll freak you out, but it won't. When you do this, there's a phenomenon called remote viewing. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
You can close your eyes and tell me what's on my desk. That's remote viewing.
Really?
Yeah. When you tune into that, you could tell me, you won't be able to see through my eyes, but you'll say there's something square on your desk or something. Yeah, it's that thing. So as you start to do this, your ability for remote viewing will improve, and you'll go, what are you doing downtown? You're like, how'd you know? And all of a sudden it's because you'll have been connected, right? Yeah, Google it, remote viewing. Several hats.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Google remote viewing. And what'll happen is, Books, because you have such a high energy, you will, I have a strong feeling that popped up. So I have a very strong feeling that your ability for remote viewing is quite intense.
I've always wanted a superpower. This is amazing. Oh my God, I feel like
Well, we all have the superpower, but yes, yours, I think you'll be able to tune into it more. Listen, ain't nobody calling me on the damn Skype. You're calling me on the phone. There's our Bukumi.
Oh my God. Woo! I feel so incredible. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Sharon. Love you guys.
Love you too. So Leo asked, can you speak more on remote viewing? Yes, if you watch, it was a movie, and real famous actors in it, but where they tried to communicate with goats, and it was about communicating and remote viewing. And there's people who can do remote viewing with about a 90% accuracy. And remote viewing is you're in this room, you're in your room, right, across the world or across the country, and you think of stuff, and somebody else connects to you and can tell you what's in the room. And it may not be exact, but they've actually gone into, they were using it, and I'm sure we've only heard about the small portion they use in the military, to where they can go look for passageways into remote bunkers and a variety of things, and where bombs might be hidden, right? This is when you hear about the psychics, and they find all of these different things. Most of the people who can do remote viewing don't really want to show up in the world that way, because it's freaky. So yeah, The Men Who Stare at Goats. Yes, if that's the name of the movie, but I think, yes, that's it. And as crazy as that sounds, it still goes on wildly today. But moms definitely have the ability to remote view over their children. So women have a higher intensity for that stuff. I don't know why they pick guys, but maybe women wouldn't stare at goats. They'd be going, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But guys would be like, oh, I'll stare at a goat. Anyways, so there you go. But yeah, Google it, remote viewing. It's pretty amazing. And now, go ahead.
I'm just saying thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful for you.
You're welcome, my love. I'm very grateful for you. You make my world so much better. And I don't know what I'd do without you now. See, and because of Rhonda, I'm not sure. Beezy, or is it Bezzy? Say it again.
It's Bezzy.
Bezzy. Okay, I got it. See, I knew it was that. So Bezzy.
Bezzy. Okay. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
I look crazy, but it's okay. You guys are my online best friends. So, what I wanted to talk about today was yesterday it was a lot of comfort zones broken. Okay. A lot of comfort zones broken. But I forced myself, right? Yesterday, I had a live with one of my business partners. And I was the person speaking. Like, she would ask me questions and I was the person actually answering the questions and everything. And our topic was how to become a better self, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sean, you're the one who told me you can only control your own emotions, right? Even though I was really nervous, and I was like, I got on, I was like, Sean said, you can only control your own emotions. Okay. So I said that. And she was like, okay, request yourself. I was like, okay. Now, when I looked back to the live, because she posted it, I was just like, wow. Like, I was really holding, it didn't seem like I was scared. It didn't seem like I was, nervous or had any problems with public speaking. And I was just like, wow, like, really coming out your comfort zone on the other side is something that's really beneficial, okay? So that's one thing that I really, push myself to do, go on live and really speak to people on live and really, think out like what I really feel, right? So that's one thing. The other thing, yesterday was just so much pressure, because I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a live and I'm dropping my first video on YouTube, right? My first video on YouTube that I've been procrastinating for 3 years. 3 years. Not because I couldn't open up a YouTube channel, but it was just I was stuck in my comfort zone. Okay. And I didn't want to have people see like how I really act, because I'm very goofy. I'm like, but a lot of people don't see that. You guys see that, but a lot of people don't see that. I'm more like, put together and like, so it's like, I didn't want a lot of people to see that. So I never opened one, but yesterday it was my first day. I put my own YouTube up. I was just like sweating bullets. And so I was really grateful for everybody that they called me. They're like, oh my gosh, I like it, I love it. You had so much personality in there. We need to see more. And I was like, thank you. But that was the second thing that I did that was coming out of my comfort zone. And one other thing, last week, I talked to you about prospecting, right? Prospecting on IG. And I did it. I tried it. And it works.
Shh. No, don't. It did it?
It really works.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
Like, it really works to the point, like, I'm like, I was doing this so wrong. Like, I was wasting my time. Even though, like, I want to get to know people, but I don't want to get to know people that are like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything with you, So it's like, I went straight, like, I gave him a genuine compliment. Like, if I didn't have a compliment, I'll just be like, straightforward, because you have to be genuine in this world. And so I gave him a genuine compliment, and if I didn't, I'll be straightforward, and I'll just be like, I love your content, I love your last picture or your outfit, and I would say I'm very straightforward. Would you like to be business partners, right? I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And they would really respond. They'd be like, okay, thank you, da da da. And then they'll be like, what's the business? See, that's where I got stuck. I was like, whoa. Didn't know.
Damn.
I was like, didn't know that was gonna be.
Damn. I thought they'd just go away.
So I was like, no, I gotta ask Sean. So I'm asking you, what should I say?
I'm in the business of people asking if they want to be in business. I don't know. So what's the genre of what you do? Are you trading? Are you
Yeah, I'm
nutritionals? Are you
trading.
what? Trading?
Yeah.
So, what's something how long have you been doing it?
About 4 months.
Okay. And what's one of the things that you want to accomplish? What's one of the goals you'd like to have, you'd like to receive from the income you get from your business?
Oh, Chairman 10 for sure.
Yeah, but that's a title a company gives you. What do you want to do with that? Because I could write you a certificate now and email it over to you, Chairman 10.
True. So Chairman 10 gets $10,000 a month.
Okay, but what do you do with that? You still haven't told me what you do with that.
Um,
Because I could write you a
my
check for
parents.
10 grand. I could write you a check for 10 grand, but it doesn't mean nothing until you cash it.
That's true.
What would you do with it?
I would say I would retire my parents, meaning, like they don't have to take care of us. They could
Okay.
go back to Ethiopia. They could live their life because we already have a house there, so they can live their life. Retire my parents. Take care of my siblings and and all that good stuff. And then
So I partnered with a company that's going to help me retire my parents much sooner than expected.
ooh, I like that. Okay. Okay. So, but how do I okay, well, yeah. How do I really not talk about myself? Should I just talk about myself?
Well, they ask you what the business is.
True.
Aren't you the business?
Facts. That is true.
So, I mean, yeah, there's a huge company behind you, but here's the thing. Suppose that company closed down and you wanted to find another business in trading. Would you find another business in trading?
Yeah.
So it's not the business, it's always you. You've
Yeah,
partnered with a company that's going to let you take care of your family and send your parents and allow your parents to go back to their home country. Is there a chance that you might be speaking with some families who are immigrants as well?
Definitely.
So then would that be of any value to those people you're speaking to?
Yeah.
Then I would speak to that. I'm in a business where we leverage international currency and we work on pips and licks and tricks and croutons. And when the croutons hit the salad, we wind up making a Caesar. What the hell are you talking about?
Right. Left on red.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna tell you guys about it next week. And how it works. But the first thing I really the first intro, it really works. So I recommend everyone to use it.
So you mean you typed that and somebody responded?
Yes. And I was just and it was not even because usually I'll be your content or like your outfit or whatever I liked. And I'll be like, how are you? And they'll be like, oh, thank you. Or someone be like, oh, thank you, good. And then I'll be like, oh, da, 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 da. And then I'll try to say, there's a script that, we were given. They're like, oh, where are you from? Left on red. It felt uncomfortable even saying that, but but I was just like, maybe it worked for someone else, so maybe it worked, So I tried.
So now that it works for you, would you keep doing it?
What you said, Sean, I will keep on doing.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing. When we find what works, what do most people do with the things that work?
Keep going.
No, they stop doing it.
Oh. Okay. Facts.
Right? How many of us exercised at one point and they go, well, yeah, I stopped doing it. I need to get back to exercising. Just use what works. Have some fun with it.
Okay. That's good. I'm excited for the new week.
Isn't that cool? Just being kind of upfront, and you don't have to build a whole lot of rapport, but that builds a lot of rapport because you get to have a conversation with somebody.
Right. And it's like, it's not like, it's not like I'm going around the bushes, you know. It's basically like, yeah, like I came in your DMs to see if you could become a business partner, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, but here's the key to that. You found something interesting on their site.
yeah.
That's the key that connects them. Oh, wow, somebody actually pays attention to me versus all of the other scammers that just say, hey, listen, so where are you from? Well, why the hell didn't you look at my page? It says where I'm from on my page, you jackass.
I swear. I was still like, I would just follow the script and I would still know where they're from. And it's like, I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna follow the script. I'm gonna be like, okay, where are you from? Left on red. I'm like, so.
I can tell you I can definitely tell you the industry of the spam is, whoever's sending me the messages. And then I can almost tell you the company based upon the script. I can tell you Bitcoin versus Forex. I can tell you IM versus, I can't think of the Bitcoin one that's out there now. That's big. But anyway, so my point is that they all follow the script. And the challenge is that how easy do you think it is for you to stand out if they see the script?
True. Yeah.
Man, those are fly shoes you're wearing. I don't even know if you can say fly shoes. I have no idea, but
You
know
can
what I'm
say
saying.
whatever you want, Sean.
If you find something that's interesting on their page and scroll back deeper, you really want to get them to give you some brain space. Is you go back to one of their, now if they only have 7 posts, that's an issue. But if they've got a couple of years worth of posts and you go back to one where it's like, what, man, did you lose weight? You look awesome. I looked at an old picture of yours. Congratulations.
I like that.
You changed your hair. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
You're
you,
welcome. This
Love
is just a way for us to truly connect with people. And here's the thing. Imagine in my day, back in the dinosaurs, imagine in my day, we used to get a faxed copy of phone numbers and names when we would buy a list. We didn't have email. Look at Bakumi, that face. It's like, what? You didn't have email? How old are, I know you're old. How old are you? We used to have to wait for the sun to burn the names into the ground. So just know that as you have this conversation, that you get to see all of the visuals of people. We never got the visuals. We would literally have to be doing it based upon the sound of their voice.
Facts.
There you go.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
We do. I mean, you could listen. I can go onto somebody's Instagram page or Facebook page. And I can pretty close tell you their life story. How their childhood was, how their young adulthood was, who's in charge, where they have their hang-ups. It's all there. It's all there for the viewing. Gigi. Where's Gigi?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Gigi. I'm loving your videos.
Can't say that. Yeah, I know you just threw me off what I was gonna say. Thank you, everybody that went before me, because I learned a lot. Definitely learned a lot from that. I don't know why I'm getting like this nervous feeling in my stomach.
Sure.
And I need help.
Okay.
Oh my God, I said I need help. Ooh, that's growth right there. Okay.
Did you say growth?
Yes.
Okay, I thought maybe you had a lisp and you said that was gross.
It's gross. It's the braces kind of make me sound like I have a little bit of lisp sometimes. But I find myself like self-sabotaging a lot.
Yeah.
not doing like the things that I know are good for me. But it's like I can't shake it. And I'll see myself make progress. And I'm like, yeah, you're making progress. But then I'll find a way to pull myself back to where it was. Anyhow.
So how do you know how to pull yourself back?
When I recognize that I'm slipping or I've already slipped.
Yeah, but pull yourself back to the old story is where you're going, right?
Yeah.
So so you haven't slipped, because slip would be, you wouldn't have to pull yourself back. Slip would mean you're already stuck there. You're right there on the floor.
Well, there's times where I find myself that I've like come on the floor.
Okay. So in order to pull something back, what do you need? Physically, what do you need? If you wanted to sit where you're sitting right now and pull a chair across the room, what do you need?
Movement?
Right. But physically, what do you need to tie something around the chair? What would you tie around the chair? A rope?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Right. So a rope. So in order to tie the rope around the chair, what do you have to do first? You got to pick the rope up.
Yeah.
What do you got to do before you pick the rope up?
You
got to find the rope.
Mm-hmm.
And before you find the rope, what do you have to have? What did you have to have had done?
Got up.
What's that?
Got up.
Well, in order to have the rope, you had to go do what? You had to buy it.
Yeah.
So look at all of the steps you have to do before you can pull yourself back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you recognize buying a rope?
Yeah.
Can you recognize picking up a rope?
Yes.
Can you recognize tying a rope around something?
Yeah.
Can you recognize grabbing the rope in preparation to pull it back?
Uh-huh.
And can you physically see yourself pulling on the rope, pulling the chair across the room?
Yes.
Okay. You got like 7 steps now before you pull yourself back that you can go, old story, no thank you.
Going over my head a little bit.
Okay. So when you start to feel yourself slipping back,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of stuff had to happen before you slipped. Pay attention to the subtleties before you slip, before you get pulled back. Because you had to go through all of those steps. You had to go buy the rope. You had to go find the rope. You had to go pick the rope up. You had to tie it around yourself, your old story or your new story, and pull it back. And then you had to pull on it.
Mm-hmm.
But all you're seeing is that you got pulled on.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention more to the detail and pay more attention to the energy as you shift through time, because it always happens.
Yeah.
All of those steps have to happen before you can get pulled back.
Because I recognized it yesterday, because like the first half of yesterday, I spent most of the day in bed. But like the old me would beat myself up and be like, you got to get up, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. But me now, I'm just like, okay, maybe this is just where I need to be right now. And then so I spent most of the day in bed and then I slept. But at some point in time, I got up and started to do things.
Well, don't be surprised of the Joker.
Okay.
Who tells you, oh, no, this is fine. Listen, you work hard. You know how hard it is to do videos? To put up the backdrop? You should be resting. So it's okay. But you've got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
So the Joker is the one who shows up and says, you have been working so hard. Were you tired?
I felt tired.
Yeah. And you know why you felt tired? Where did you feel tired?
Like, where did I feel tired? It was like my body felt tired. Like,
Right.
Was so tired I couldn't.
The old story didn't want you to change.
See, and I even have written on my wall, I refuse to let my mind bully my body.
Okay, so how do you turn that into an affirmation? Because the refusing,
Yeah.
right?
I am in control of my body.
Why am I so good? Why am I so good at controlling my body? Why am I so good at being in joy? Why am I so good at being my best potential?
Because I feel like I'm sitting on so much untapped potential, and it's kind of frustrating.
Yep. Why am I so good at using all of my daily potential?
I can breathe.
Does that help?
Yes.
What's your next question?
Do I have a minute? Why do I I don't know if this is a question you can even answer, but why do we run away from the things that are good for us?
Because when we change, we're afraid nobody's going to like us. It's what Jessica was talking about. It's what Amanda was talking about. I want it so much for you. I want it so much for people to see where I'm at, right? There's nothing worse than a reformed smoker. Right? Somebody stopped smoking and because they had a heart, you should quit smoking and you know that stuff kills you. Wait a minute, you were just smoking 4 packs a day. Well, what the hell makes you an expert? So the challenge is that can you set up your environment that it's okay for you to grow? My bride for 20 years, now 22 years, 20 years married, 22 years together, knows that I do my morning call now. How many days do you think she's been a part of my morning call? But how many days has she been a part of my morning call? 506. She's a part of every one of them. She may not be on it. She may bring me a coffee. She may not bring me a coffee. She may have her own stuff to do, but she knows that this is something I do. And so she's a part of every one of my calls. Could you imagine if she stood in my doorway going, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? What do you need a mic for? These people, what are you doing? Who are these people? She's a part of every one of my calls. Why? Because she supports every one of my calls. So my environment is set up that way. Mason, who's sleeping right now, is a part of my calls. My environment, Beamish, who comes in and gives me kisses, is a part of my calls. My environment allows me to do something I love doing. And I've set it up such. Am I always successful at it? More than often, more than not. So look at your environment. I'd encourage you to sleep at the foot of the bed tonight.
Yeah, I've been sleeping in the same spot.
Change things up.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep catty corner in your bed. Take up the whole bed.
You know, it's crazy that you said that, because I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, I have this big old bed, but I just stay in this little tiny corner, crunched up and sleep.
Welcome to most people's world. I do the laundry. Her love language is acts of service. When I get off the call in the morning, I usually go grab one of the Swiffer mop things and I mop the floors. Or I'll grab, if she's on a phone call, if she's not on a phone call, I'll grab the vacuum because of the puppy hair. But I'll usually just go, takes 10 minutes to mop the downstairs, just walking it around. I may not get all of the corners, but yeah, hers is that. And I've learned how to do laundry after 20 years. And if there's dishes in the sink, I'll wake Mason up and go, get your ass downstairs to wash the dishes. That help, Gigi?
Yes, it does. Very
Cool.
much.
Yes. I love you.
Love you too. I love you all.
Yay. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning. I was thinking, Rhonda never has any of her stuff on these calls. When she started with you, I wonder if she did.
Yes, she did.
I had an extraordinary day yesterday, but the Joker probably had some of it. Because you were telling us to go do something we love. And once before we'd had a conversation about me, and my house plants and bonsais and stuff. And I have all these plants around the house and they need to be repotted. They need some new soil. They need some love. And
Right.
I realized that when I was living with Vicki and Chris, I virtually murdered 300-year-old plants that broke my heart, to tell you the truth. And so I've been afraid to allow myself that pleasure again.
Yep.
And so that's changing little by little, right? And so when I went out and bought all this stuff yesterday, I came home, it was like, I didn't even bring it upstairs. It was in the trunk of my car.
That sounds like people who sign up and never open the distributor kit.
Well, it's all up. Before the call today, I went down to the car and got it all out. But I also realized that for so many years, I've been contracted now. I used to live in this expansive world that, money was not something that stopped me from doing stuff, but I also wasn't a very good steward of the money. So since I didn't have as much, I've actually had fun learning to be a good steward of my money. I had fun. I am the queen of returns. If I ain't going to use it, even if it's $2, I go back in and I get my $2 back, And I can't tell you, my sisters all laugh at me, but they give me their stuff to return and they pay me to do it. So I find all these little ways to be more expansive, but to give myself permission for just pure pleasure, which is really what that was, and so much love. And I had so much, I walked around the store for 2 hours playing with this, and I didn't even buy any new plants. I mean, it's just from what the few that I have. So anyway, my point is, then it was like, there was a lot of resistance to doing a lot of work. I follow up on people that I need to follow up on. And one of my people, your neighbor who, had all this stuff going on and lost her 7 day. Well, she's loving her 7-day. Somebody else asked her about it. I gave her a link. She asked last night for a link. She's got several people she's going to send the link to. And today she was asking, could I go to Sean's house and buy the Heart and Hydrate? And I'm giving her the link. I'm not giving her to you to go sell her a bag. But, and I'm going to get her 30-day. But I'm having this thing that I'm supposed to work 7 days a week, all day, every day. And I just go, I'm not doing it today, but in the past, I would give myself a headache when I would do that. That's how I would get out of it. I would make myself miserable. I had a happy day yesterday. I was happy. And that seemed to me more valuable than pushing myself to be out of alignment. But I also think, you know, there was the other thing that I was in resistance to is doing the workbook. And that I did want to do yesterday. I didn't do it. I wanted to work on the workbook yesterday. And that wouldn't have been the 7 days a week work. That would have been for me. And I didn't do it yet. So I'm just sitting here looking at that. I'm observing how I do these things to myself. and noticing how what an extraordinary gift this life is, that we can create it. We can make it up however we want, you know, and we can make ourselves wrong in the process, or we can get moving. But there are a couple of times with you that I've really, that my energy stayed high, and you know, that I was, that I didn't, none of that happened. And it was like you said, then you're working on you're plugged in rather than on working on battery juice that runs out. And I want to be on plugged in energy more often than not, because I think a lot of time I still work on battery energy. It's like there's a certain amount of drive I think I need to have. And I know that that is not ultimately going to get me where I want to go. So do you have any suggestions for that? Do your work.
Plant the damn plants.
What?
Plant the damn plants.
So, okay, I'll do that. And then I'll do the workbook. And last night, sitting there listening to this music for 3 hours, when I would talk about giving myself a gift, but I didn't, it's like this whole world has opened up to me that I didn't even know existed. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't know how I grew up not knowing, you know, like the switch that got flipped when I got baptized, it still makes me cry. I don't know why. And how did I not get that? You know, growing up, and it's like the first time I've actually been curious to have a real conversation with my father, who never had a real conversation with me about anything, you know. But anyway, so I feel like Jesus is in this conversation too. So anyway, plant the damn plants, eh? Have my conversation with Jesus, plant the plants, do my workbook, and trust the flow of the unfolding.
And yes, and pay attention to the unfolding. Allow your inquisitiveness as you go grab the bag of potting soil and the shears and the whatever it else is that you need to plant, the cloth that you're going to put down on the table so that the dirt, you can capture the dirt. Pay attention to all of the things that you're going to do that allow you to do what you're going to do. Kind of like when we walked Gigi through, got to go buy the rope, find the rope, throw the rope out, tie the rope on. Before we even get pulled back, there's all of these little idiosyncrasies. I go through it. I usually walk people through the scenario. Imagine a room in your house, pitch black. It's a room that you know where all of the furniture is and you know where everything is at. And you know where the light switch is. Before you were on the other side of the room and the lights, you could see the light switch, you know which way you were oriented, and the room goes pitch black. And now you got to go find the light switch. You don't go running. You might be able to a little bit, but there's some tables and coffee tables and a chair, and you got to move around some stuff. So you know, you can guess approximate how far that is, and then you bump into it and you go, yep, that's the chair and that's this. And then you finally get to the wall. And as you get to the wall, you start to do this with your hand, and all of a sudden you feel the switch. At that moment, you now know the light is on. It's that moment where every secret resides. The moment you know, faith, but it's not happened. And when you can get to that moment in your mind, that's what reduces the delay of the goal showing up. Is when you got your hand on the light switch. Many of you are still trying to walk around in the room. You're going into other people's rooms going, where the hell's the gosh darn light switch? It ain't even your room. Get the hell out. Get out. But when you got your hand, you can feel it. Go listen. Do me a favor. Today, sometime, go over to the light switch and just walk 2 feet away. Just stand there, just 2 feet away, and find the light switch and see what that feeling likes. And I dare you to tell me if a charge of energy just doesn't flood your body.
Interesting.
And that's where the secret is. That's how you stop the delay. Is when you have a goal. My goal is 1 million hugs in one day. There it is. It's happening. Oh, and I haven't flipped the switch yet, but it's happening because I know all I have to do is one more thing, click, and the light's on. But I don't even have to turn the light on to feel comfortable anymore, do I? I have found
that's part of why I was happy yesterday, because even though I wasn't doing everything for my business, I felt
you
like my
were.
business
That's
was
what
going.
I want to shake everybody who says I wasn't doing anything for my business. You were doing everything for your business.
Yeah.
But we talk ourselves out of it like it should be some pain. I can't enjoy life. That's not my business. Somebody shoot me with a dull arrow. Good Lord. 3 hours of listening to music was absolutely everything for your business.
It so lifted me up. And I found my old
Well, yeah, let's not do that again.
I found my old HoloSync tapes that I couldn't find.
Yep.
And so I've been going to bed to HoloSync every night.
Oh, that's good. Bill, right? I forget his last name.
Bill Harris.
Yes,
Yeah.
Bill Harris.
Yeah.
I remember getting his way back when. And so now you got
Exactly.
HoloSync. And now you've got everybody. You got John Assaraf doing stuff like that. You got Binaural Beats on YouTube. But
Yeah.
there's some just amazing stuff.
Yeah. And I think part of my whole reason for wanting the financial freedom and the business, besides helping people and having this family in my life forever, is the freedom to spend 3 hours listening to music and to spend, and to get the plants that I want when I want them, to get the art stuff that I got to do with Vicky, because that's where Vicky and I connect in a creative way, and I'm realizing that I'm giving myself permission to bring back my creativity, my creative spirit, which I always used to say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. And for years I said that.
Mm-hmm.
Not true. We all do. We all do. And to feel, and I actually watched a movie last night. I don't do that stuff, because I should be working. But today I'm feeling incredibly energized and happy. And I have fewer hours available. And it's like, what I'm hearing from you is permission to be alive.
Oh, shocking.
That just made me cry. I didn't realize how much I had shut down my aliveness in the pursuit of bullshit. Excuse me.
The other alternative is to sit on the mountain like the guru until you finally wake up that he who sits on the mountaintop ends up with sore butt.
Well, I remember when Ram Dass went away for God knows how long and was in this blissed out state, and then he came home in like an hour with his family. It was like, you realize it's one thing to do it all by yourself. It's another thing to do it with family. And that's always been something that I look at, because I can get, well, anyway, I'm bridging that gap. It used to be that the only time that I would relax would be when I would meditate. So I would meditate 3 hours a day.
Yep.
But the rest of the time, I was picking myself apart. I'm not doing that as badly as I used to do.
Mm-mm. And the more you get, the more you stay in flow, hands in dirt, moving plants, listening to music. It's all that. It's the external. It's when we become stagnant on the outside and our insides start running wild. We need some of us need that physical exercise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm very I'm very grateful. I'm just so grateful, Sean. I'm grateful to be here and to be here and to be with you and to be with Rhonda and to have you know, like I listen to John Asroff. I used to listen. I've got a lot of his stuff, but he it's the difference between the mentor who makes you know you're doing it and taking the credit for it, you know, themselves. And I've seen so many, you know, people out there, some of them who are really good or give a good message, but I've never ever been in an environment that so completely supports from the inside out us taking credit for who we are. And I mean, the University of Santa Monica, where I got a degree in spiritual psychology, was the closest. And I was in service for 10 years after I graduated. But even that, the minute you weren't in their orbit, you were not in their orbit, you know, and that seemed a little off to me. You know, I feel like all of us who have come into your orbit, whether we're still circling or not, it's like you just get bigger. Your energy gets bigger so that it literally is affecting the planet and generations to come. And I thank you.
My joy.
And Leo, you're going to dance with me one of these years. Thank you.
You know it, woman. I'll be right there waiting for you on the dance floor with my hand out and open, ready to receive you.
We just added another day to our mastermind session whenever we have it. First day is tears and hugs. We do a little message, and then third day is dancing with Leo.
It'll be dancing with me.
We gotta get there.
Yes, it'll be dancing with me, working out with Jeremy, meditating with Moshe and Yara, Rhonda with the basketball and the yoga. We got Gigi with the arts and crafts.
And I'll teach you how to do dialogues with your different parts of yourself that will ask.
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. That's amazing.
We got Bukumi teaching us how to talk on the phone.
with that big smile.
That's right. Well, folks, I've got a 10:30 appointment. I do love you all so much. Please come back tomorrow with the questions. A couple of you have got your hands raised. Y'all are just so amazing. You make the world a better place. I'm much better for it. Thank you for joining me on my vacation and spending some time with me. And thanks for making, literally, my body doesn't hurt anymore. Now, I haven't gotten out of the chair, but it doesn't hurt anymore. So I think spending time with you is a healing energy. So thank you for all that you guys do. You're just amazing. So I'm Sean Murphy, your head misfit. I'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
At the next event. Y'all say some love to each other.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye.
You guys.
Wonderful day.
Bye. Beautiful Sunday.
Bye, everybody. I love you all.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a beautiful day.